तत्सवितुर्वरं रूपं ज्योतिः परस्य धीमहि यन्नः सत्येन दीपयेत् सत्येन दीपयेत्। ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरं रूपं ज्योतिः परस्य धीमहि यन्नः सत्येन दीपयेत् सत्येन दीपयेत्। ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरं रूपं ज्योतिः परस्य धीमहि यन्नः सत्येन दीपयेत् सत्येन दीपयेत्।
Good morning, Taru.
Good morning.
Or good evening for you.
No, it's the same thing. Doesn't matter as long as it's good, right? Yeah.
Suffix is not a problem.
Yeah. So, good morning and good evening. We'll begin with Sri Aurobindo and Mother's Study Circle, where these days we are taking up passages from a compilation called Looking from Within, and it is compiled by Dr. A.S. Dalal. So, invoking Mother and Sri Aurobindo's divine grace and presence as we begin this session, and aspiring for flexibility, receptivity, suppleness, and more grace in our lives as we begin the session. So I'm sharing the screen now of the PDF of the book. So just to get our bearings, we are on section 3. The title is Action and Work. We have covered the first 4 parts: acting from within, choice of work, the work that purifies, fatigue and rest. So fatigue and rest is what we did the last time we met. And today we'll be taking handling physical things. It's a small section, and after that we'll be taking section 4 titled Ordeals and Difficulties. Yeah, so this is where we have to start handling physical things. So if you would like to read, you can read, otherwise I'll read. Thank you.
Yeah, Taru, I'll read. Handling physical things. There is a consciousness in each physical thing with which one can communicate. Everything has an individuality of a certain kind: houses, cars, furnitures, etc. The ancient peoples knew that, and so they saw a spirit or genius in every physical thing. I'll read it one more time. There is a consciousness in each physical thing with which one can communicate. Everything has an individuality of a certain kind: houses, cars, furniture, etc. The ancient peoples knew that, and so they saw a spirit or genius in every physical thing. Sri Aurobindo. Thank you.
We know that matter too has consciousness, and in it said the consciousness is sleeping, but it has a consciousness. And I don't know whether this is true or not, but how we get attached to things like cars when we are selling it, like there's some kind of pain. Houses, people get attached to so badly. Furniture, small, small things, pots and pans and lamps. And when we give it to somebody, it feels that we are, parting with something.
Yeah.
And I found that strange often. I remember when, we were selling my first car on which I had learned driving almost. And I
Mm.
remember I was like crying, like with tears, and I was looking at myself and I was surprised because it was most unexpected. When the person finally came to take it, it was surprising for me, and yet it felt that I'm parting. So from that aspect, this thing now puts more light on it. It because
Mm.
there is something, right? There is a consciousness in each physical thing with which one can communicate. So, you form kind of a bond.
Yeah.
Sometimes say if this, I don't know, it happens with me, especially if I'm on hills. Say if I've sat on a in a cafe and on a table and a chair and I've had anything like maybe whatever, a cup of tea or something, and you add this a feeling, I don't know, more elevated, right? Like in that peaceful
Mm.
ambience. And also when one gets up, I've often seen myself thank the table, thank the chair, that thank you for letting me sit so that, I could
Mm.
enjoy,
Mm.
I could relish, I could cherish this 20, 30 minutes sitting on you. So this has like suddenly put a lot of visual things in
Yeah.
the things that I have done, yeah, in the past.
So beautiful, Taro. So beautiful.
There's a very beautiful letter by one, I think, American Indian chief that
Mm-hmm.
he had given to, the people, the inhabitants, the newcomers, when they were asking for their more and more land. Have you read that? It's in one of
No.
Mother's books also.
No, I've
It's
not.
really beautiful. I'll just see if I can find it in a maybe shortly, although it's tough. I don't remember his name. Red Indian, basically. Oh my God. Yeah, yeah, it's very beautiful. I found it. It's a big. Yeah, I'll just read it. So it's
Yeah, yeah.
basically Seattle's letter to all. So this is the person who had written it, and it says that Chief Seattle was a chief who lived on the islands of the Puget Sound as a young warrior. He was known for his courage, daring, and leadership. He gained control of six of the local tribes and continued the friendly relations with the local whites that had been established by his father. His now famous speech, which was believed to have been given in December 1854. So there are several versions of this letter. So looking at this one, the president in Washington sends word that he wishes to buy our land. But how can you buy or sell the sky, the land? The idea is strange to us. If we do not own the freshness of the air and the sparkle of the water, how can you buy them? Every part of the earth is sacred to my people. Every shining pine needle, every sandy shore, every mist in the dark woods, every meadow, every humming insect. All are holy in the memory and experience of my people. We know the sap which courses through the trees, as we know the blood that courses through our veins. We are part of the earth and it is part of us. The perfume flowers are our sisters. The bear, the deer, the great eagle, these are our brothers. The rocky crests, the dew in the meadow, the body heat of a pony and man, all belong to the same family. The shining water that moves in the streams and river is not just water, but the blood of our ancestors. If we sell our lands, if we sell you our land, you must remember that it is sacred. Each glossy reflection in the clear waters of the lakes tells of events and memories in the life of my people. The water's murmur is the voice of my father's father. The rivers are our brothers, they quench our thirst, they carry our canoes and feed our children. So you must give the rivers the kindness that you would give any river, any brother. If we sell you our land, remember that the air is precious to us, that the air shares its spirits with all the life that it supports. The wind that gave our grandfather his first breath also received his last sigh. The wind also gives our children the spirit of life. So if we sell our land, you must keep it apart and sacred as a place where man can go to taste the wind that is sweetened by the meadow flowers. Will you teach your children what we have taught our children? That the earth is our mother. What befalls the earth befalls all the sons of the earth. This we know. The earth does not belong to man, man belongs to the earth. All things are connected like the blood that unites us all. Man did not weave the web of life, he is merely a strand in it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself. One thing we know, our God is also your God. The earth is precious to him, and to harm the earth is to heap contempt on its creator. Your destiny is a mystery to us. What will happen when the buffaloes are all slaughtered, the wild horses tamed? What will happen when the secret corners of the forest are heavy with the scent of many men and the view of the ripe hills is blotted with talking wires? Where will the thicket be? Gone. Where will the eagle be? Gone. And what is to say goodbye to the swift pony and then hunt? The end of living and the beginning of survival. When the last red man has vanished with this wilderness, and his memory is only the shadow of a cloud moving across the prairie, will these shores and forests still be here? Will there be any of the spirit of my people left? We love this earth as a newborn loves its mother's heartbeat. So if we sell you our land, love it as we have loved it, care for it as we have cared for it, hold in your mind the memory of the land as it is when you receive it. Preserve the land for all children and love it as God loves us. As we are part of the land, you too are part of the land. The earth is precious to us, it is also precious to you. One thing we know, There is only one God. No man, be he red man or white man, can be apart. We are all brothers after all. Yeah, this is it.
So beautiful, Taru.
And see,
No,
this was written in December 1854, and what have we done, right, with the earth? Like, what he could see, right? He could see it then. Okay, are you not looking at what you are doing? Where will this lead to? What will be the end result? He could see that before it had begun, right? Like when he could see the waves of life. It's amazing, what people with insights and connection, how they can see. And yet, even now, in, those conferences and summits, they even deny that there's anything wrong with the environment. So, yeah, suffer we will, suffer we are. So,
so
yeah.
whatever he has written has already happened. We have spoiled the earth
Yeah.
as much as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, and we are not stopping. That's the worst part, right? Like they say the tipping point is long gone. Like there is no
Yeah.
return now. And yet we can preserve if we are careful. But of course, the greed is so much that
Yeah.
it's hard to blame when I have greed, and that's
Yeah,
it.
it is there in collective also.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
that's
there
what.
is a small program in our, mudra session
Hmm.
that every day you should go and, feel the earth for
Hmm.
at least 5 minutes every day. So she was, been saying, but no one was, even including me, no one was, giving a lot of importance to that. We just
Yeah.
say, okay, okay. Then it was not happening. So finally she said, no, the world is, we are all becoming so materialistic, and we don't live on the land. We always, thinking that we are very busy, we don't have time, I don't have even 5 minutes. What will I
Hmm.
do? I have so much. So she started a beautiful WhatsApp group. In that group, every day, everybody will send their only foot photograph, feet on the grass or on the sand or on the mud. But she made it compulsory. So in the beginning, for 1 or 2 days, 1 or 2 days, maybe for a week, I was thinking, what is this too much? But when I started doing, I'm able to feel that, I have some connection with that grass. And, every day, if I don't go at 10:30 in the morning, because, light sun will come here. So generally it is very, cloudy here in Bangalore. So that 10:30 to 12, 11 times, between that half an hour, beautiful sun comes. And, dewdrops will be sitting on the grass. And I started enjoying that so much. Then I sent a message to her. Thank you so much. When you started, I was a bit annoyed. What is this? But now I'm enjoying. It is, in the on that grass, people put lot of trash, plastic dabbas or lid. But why to spoil even that piece of land? We are not able to keep it fully,
Hmm. Hmm.
green. So yeah, we human beings are very good in spoiling things.
Yeah. Yeah. True. And I don't know, even I remember I reading that Gandhi ji had done a lot about cleanliness. He had really propagated cleanliness in people. But even here, like in Canada and all, like when you're crossing a community or a group of houses, you can know whether it is an house of an immigrant mostly or the
Mm,
locals, because there's a lot of trash even here outside the house of immigrants where there are so many penalties and everything.
mm.
So there's
But
something
still,
about our culture, about something is there that it's okay, keep your house very clean, but your surroundings are okay if they are dirty. It's very strange.
yeah.
Yeah, but okay, let it be strange. Yeah. So just rereading it, that there is a consciousness in each physical thing with which one can communicate. Everything had an individuality of a certain kind: houses, cars, furnitures, etc. The ancient people knew that, and so they saw a spirit or a genius in every physical thing. Sri Aurobindo. Yeah. So maybe you can read the next one.
Yeah. What you feel about physical things is true. There is a consciousness in them, a life which is not the life and consciousness of man and animal, which we know, but still secret and real. That is why we must have a respect for physical things and use them rightly, not misuse and waste, ill treat, or handle with careless roughness. This feeling of all being consciousness or alive comes when our own physical consciousness and not the mind only awakes out of its obscurity and becomes aware of the one in all things, the divine everywhere. So, Taru, I'll read it one more time. In
Taraji,
the
if
middle,
you try to, I think you can maybe experiment with it. If you read a bit more slowly, you might
uh,
even find it more meditative and it goes even further in, like little bit more slowly, so that we are
oh,
able
oh,
to, as one is reading, it's going
uh,
in. There's no rush
okay,
to finish. And to
yeah.
each his own, right? Like one might not resonate. I'm just suggesting. Although you read
Yeah.
okay, it's not that you read fast, but just try reading more slowly. Yeah.
Yeah, because it registers in the mind if we read slowly. Yeah. What you feel about physical things is true. There is a consciousness in them, a life which is not the life and consciousness of man and animal, which we know, but still secret and real. That is why we must have a respect for physical things and use them rightly, not misuse and waste, ill treat or handle with careless roughness. This feeling of being consciousness or alive comes when our own physical consciousness. This is what I didn't understand, Taru. This feeling of all being consciousness or alive comes when our own physical consciousness and not the mind only awakes out of its obscurity and becomes aware of the one in all things, the divine everywhere. Yeah, this time is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Taru. Beautiful. Yeah. In our unconsciousness, we just read
Yeah.
mechanically. No, it is, we can read it, but can read slow so that it just goes into the mind. Beautiful.
Mm.
This feeling of all being consciousness or alive comes when our own physical consciousness and not the mind only wakes out of its obscurity and becomes aware of the one in all things, the divine everywhere. Yeah, just wanted to share a small thing. See, when we were in Singapore, uh, Philippines lady was working in our house. So when she handles things, no, the scrubber or kitchen towel, when it is worn out, she always says, I'm going to say thank you to this cloth today. I'm going to thank this, scrub. So I used to wonder how nicely and with graciously she will throw. She will not just throw like this. She will call me Shada. I'm going to say thank you. You also say thank you to this. So let us send off this cloth. You know, it was so beautiful, so beautiful. So I learned from her. So now, if little bit of food is wasted also, I will say, she will say sorry. See, so many people are not having food, but I'm throwing you since I'm very sorry, feeling very bad, but still I'm throwing you. Please forgive me. For she will pray and she will throw. And for everything, if a bedsheet is old, if I give it to her, she will say thank you and give me, because it has served you. So in our family nowadays, we started saying, so today I'm going to say thank you to this old pillow cover, old scrubber. It is so beautiful, no? So when we read this, we feel really, these are all things which have to be learned. Small, small gestures. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Taru. Yeah. The
Thank
slow
you.
reading is really helping me. Yeah.
But it's
See,
hard, to switch. Next time again, you will find yourself reading fast and
yeah.
you'll have to tell yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you shared was beautiful. I've experienced the same thing, but I think we have to put it in more and more and more things, right? Like, yeah, because it can be everywhere. Yeah. So what you feel about physical thing is true. You've already read that. And this is why we must have a respect for physical things and use them rightly, not misuse and waste, ill treat or handle with careless roughness. This reminded me that once there was a speaker who was speaking, and she said that when I'm coming in to speak, the way the shoes are kept, I know what kind of an audience it is. Like I know their kind of, their evolutionary thing. What should I speak? So it's pretty interesting, right? Just looking at the way the shoes are kept outside the hall, she could see that. And
So beautiful.
yeah, and this is why, like from our generation, like, especially the grandparents and all, they were always, I remember somebody telling me, one of my aunts, that before you keep your foot down, always first, say sorry that you are again, another day of you tramp kind of walking on the earth, and say thank you kind of to the ground, to earth. So it's really nice to be reminded of it again, because sometimes in the rush of things like you were sharing, we
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah. One more thing, just a small incident I wanted to share. See, when we had a car in, 10, 15 years back. So if we talk anything about that car, something will happen. See, for instance, it was some 4 years old. We were going somewhere. My husband was saying, no, I think we have to change this car because it is already uh, 4 years old, and we will change, we will buy this, that, and all. We were going somewhere. So Meera was small that time. So she was saying, Appa, we'll buy that car, we'll buy this car. So invariably, whenever we talk about changing that car, something will happen. Somebody will come and, just dash, or it will stop, or just on the middle of the road, it will stop. Something will happen. But, after 2 minutes, we'll realize, no, no, we should not talk like this sitting in this car. Then again, no, it is, it was feeling like magic, but it happened. So 2, 3 times it stopped. The fourth time, without noticing, we were saying something. No, no, no. This time, really, we have to change this car. So when we just have to take a bend onto the left, nobody will come to the left generally. So one person came and hit the car. Cyclist. So nothing happened to the car on the cycle or the cyclist, but we realized no, 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 there is something in this car. It has some feeling or some consciousness. So let us not talk anything about the car, changing the car and sitting at the car. So we'll go home and discuss. It was like really magic. Then we changed the car. That is altogether different story. But as Sri Aurobindo says, it also had some consciousness. Yeah, another car story. See, there was a car which was given to the senior most person of the company. So when the car came, within 3 months, that person resigned. So the car came to the next level person. So after it came to the next person, he also left the company after 3 months. So fourth time it came to my husband's boss. So he retired from the company after 3 months. So it came to my husband. You know, the number is 74, 7744. I remember the number so very well. So everybody were teasing, oh, Ganesh, you are going to leave the company because this 7744 has come. You are the fifth person. And at that time, he didn't have any idea of changing the job. You know, within 3 months, he also left the company. I don't know, but everybody were, moving forward only. Nothing happened bad, but still, the car had such type of vibration, or I don't know, coincidence, but it happened. Yeah.
Very strange. Yeah, very interesting. I guess moving beyond the stories, just to even recognize this, right? That you were so clearly able to see, it just helps us in building more faith towards this, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is why, especially with children, children want to throw everything here, there, put your shoes like this and all. Something hurts, right? When you want
Yeah.
them and you're telling them again and again, be respectful, keep things properly. And I used to think that it's just my ego or, because I want a clean house or something, but it feels there's more to it also, right? It just shows how the child is being raised, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm just.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
So this you've understood last part, right? That this feeling of all being consciousness, that everything is consciousness or alive, comes when our own physical consciousness. See, we all have heard about oneness, right? But we have not experienced it. Maybe in bits and pieces, in moments, in some instances, but we have not become it, right? That oneness, we don't live that way. So here it is being said that if it's just a mental concept, it won't happen then. But if the physical consciousness awakes out of its obscurity and becomes aware of the one in all things, the divine everywhere, because the physical is same as, say, a stone, for example, right? So if my physical consciousness gets out of its obscurity and realizes the divine within itself, then without saying, without an effort, it feels that it will be able to clearly sense the divine, the consciousness in all physical things.
So beautiful. Lot of things to learn, right?
Yeah, here there's one more thing. Once there was this, Lopa Mukherjee. She does some
Mm-hmm.
conferences for Namaha. She's pretty nice. Like she had done a
Yeah.
lot of things, and then she follows up. She has WhatsApp groups and all. She has some collective
And
discussions and
we
stuff.
are attending her sessions, Taru,
Oh,
on
you are?
Saturday, Monday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once in one of those, I don't know, intuition sessions or something,
Mm.
she had said that, okay, just feel, I don't know what she said, maybe the wood or the furniture or the things around you. And I could so clearly, I don't know, maybe it was just my whatever, but I could say if I pay attention to wood, say my table,
Mm.
which is made of wood, not the other ones and all, which most of these days they are not wood, right? One can feel the pain. You can try it sometimes, of what it has gone through. So that was also very interesting. Like if one allowed oneself the moment to connect, say, with the table which is made of wood.
Mm.
So it was a very strange experience that, oh yeah, you can actually feel that.
Feel,
Yeah.
yeah. So when you say, I'm able to, imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we can move on.
That is
So,
why, my grandma always used to say, when you buy a furniture, you know, it will have, they didn't know that, to call it vibration or anything, but she will say, it will show you. So if something good happens, then it is suiting you. If something is not happening properly, then because of the furniture.
Yeah.
We have to see, but what can we see and buy? I used to ask my grandma, Ma, what can we see? By seeing, we will buy. That's all. If we like it, we'll buy. She will say, no, it's not like that. But she didn't know how to, explain it. But now we can, yeah.
Even
Maybe
mother shares, right, that fruits and vegetables, when she would go in the garden, they will call out to her, right? And, me, I am ready, take me.
Yeah. Even the flowers,
Yeah. Yeah.
So beautiful. Lot of things to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you like to read this one?
Yeah. Action and work, no?
It is very true.
Okay.
From you, yeah.
It is very true that physical things have a consciousness within them which feels and responds to care and is sensitive to careless touch and rough handling. To know or feel that and learn to be careful of them is a great progress of consciousness. I will read one more time, as always.
Yeah.
It is very true that physical things have a consciousness within them, which feels and responds to care and is sensitive to careless touch and rough handling. To know or feel that and learn to be careful of them is a great progress of consciousness. So beautiful. We can, every day while cooking also we can feel this if we
Yeah.
can, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Even in the Gnostic Center in Delhi,
Mm.
right outside, they have a small cafe, a very simple small cafe. And outside that, there's a placard which says this, they have engraved it in stone, something like this, that, the energy of the one cooking, the way the food is cooked, the vibrations are transferred into the food. We don't realize that, say if my cook is late, I will shout at her. I'll be like, what are you doing? You always do this. So imagine when she's cooking, what she's feeling, what she's going through. And I think the same thing they say about mother's milk also, right? That if you're angry and you're feeding the baby, it's like you're feeding them poison. So those things are there, and now one sees why it is being said that, right? Yeah. So I can just highlight. So this is the last passage of this section. Yeah. Would you like to read it?
Yeah, yeah. The rough handling and careless breaking or waste and misuse of physical things is a denial of the yogic consciousness and a great hindrance to the bringing down of the divine truth to the material plane. Beautiful. I'll read one more time. The rough handling and careless breaking or waste and misuse of physical things is a denial of the yogic consciousness and a great hindrance to the bringing down of the divine truth to the material plane. Okay.
This that how Champaklalji collected the nails, the hair, the torn paper, the thrown things, right? Like this also further throws light on it. Yeah, very interesting. This is very, yeah.
Yeah, in there is a person called Bansilal. Bansidhar, Champaklalji's younger brother. So when he came to the ashram, he was given duty to take care of mother's room. So that time, mother used to keep all the biscuit packets, empty packets, papers, and once he threw them. As soon as mother came back from the darshan, mother asked, "Where are the papers?" He said, "No, it was lying on the table. I thought there is no use of them, so I threw it." So mother really got angry and she said, "I know where to throw, when to throw, and you cannot decide whether it is useful or not." So he was so scared. So he was shivering. Oh, mother has become Mahakali now. So what will I do? So the next time, sometime after that, he broke one of mother's perfume bottle. So by mistake, it fell down. So he was literally shivering. See, that time itself, mother became Mahakali. Now, how I'm going to handle? So this fragrance of the perfume went to the darshan room. So mother felt it. And when she entered the room, she said, "Mother, by mistake, I broke it." He said. So mother said, "No problem. It happens sometimes." But, he was so cool and, don't worry. It happens. Sometimes when we are working, things fall and it happens. Don't worry. So that time he has written, when I threw the biscuit cover paper, mother was angry, but this time she has forgiven.
Yeah.
She has made me, comfortable by saying it's okay. See, this shows, care. We have to be careful.
Yeah.
At times, if it happens, don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the book was, mm, Flame of Love.
Okay.
It recently, got translated in
Okay.
Tamil. That's why.
Okay. So you did it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So beautiful.
Okay. So we still have time. So we can
Yeah,
start with the
yeah.
next section, Ordeals and Difficulties, section 4 of the book, Looking from Within. So the first section is titled Difficulties Across the Path. So we can take up the first passage and see how much we can cover. The small passages, so most of them are good. Yeah. Yeah, you can read.
Yeah. Ordeals and difficulties. Difficulties across the path. There cannot be any high endeavor, least of all in the spiritual world, which does not raise or encounter grave obstacles of a very persistent character. These are both internal and external, and although in the large, they are fundamentally the same for all. There may be a great difference in the distribution of their stress or the outward from they take. Didn't understand this, Taro.
You can read it again.
Yeah. There cannot be any high endeavor, least of all in the spiritual world, which does not raise or encounter grave obstacles of a very persistent character. These are both internal and external, and although in the large they are fundamentally the same for all. there may be a great difference in the distribution of their stress or the outward form they take. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is by Sri Aurobindo. So basically, what is being said is that, we all get obstacles. So there's nothing that is of a high nature, which does not get resistance or obstacles from different sources within and without. Like we have heard stories that how when somebody decided to go to Pondicherry to meet Mother and Sri Aurobindo, suddenly the child got so unwell that everybody told them, okay, don't go, are you crazy? And they are like, no, mother will take care of him. So right now the child has 106 fever. They board the train and the child is okay. So as in something is trying to stop, the high from happening. So now he's just stating it as a fact that there cannot be any. He didn't say mostly, more, sometimes. He's saying it without any exception that there cannot be any high endeavor, least of all in the spiritual field, which does not raise or encounter grave obstacles of a very persistent character. We all have our issues, that things that we have to transcend, right? And I think these transcendences, these obstacles actually make us much stronger, right? They really develop the muscles, but I think in a lot of cases, they might even demotivate people and they might, right? Even like people, meaning us also, that we might just give up. But he's saying that he's saying that it's not our fault. It's just that the obstacles are always there, and that too of a very persistent character. So these are both internal and external. So from inside also there will be resistance or some obstacle. From outside also it can be, or both. And although in the large they are fundamentally the same for all, there may be a great difference in the distribution of this stress or the outer form they take. So the energy behind it, it's the same, right? That the idea is to stop it, stop the progress, stop the transition, stop the transformation. And yet it might look different, right? And that's kind of all our stories, right? Like we all appear to be looking different, feeling different, coming from different backgrounds. And yet, when we meet and when we are openly sharing, right, like true reflections from inside, we see there is so much similarity. And that is why I think these sharing sessions and all are important, because we all see we are, kind of in the same boat. So for some, that is more challenging. From this, some that this is more challenging, and yet the nature of the challenge is the same, right? It requires a transcendence, it requires a rejection, it requires an aspiration. So just to know that oneness, that this phase of Rumi, that, we are all just walking each other home. So we might appear to have different homes, and yet the home is same, and we are all helping each other, both by being obstacles and the ones that help, right? Because the obstacles also help me fight stronger, right? I might be that aspect also I feel is there, that a lot of times I feel that when I have rejection, when I'm told no, I say yes. Otherwise, I might not even want to do it fully myself. Like I feel there's some lack of sincerity sometimes, because I see that when I can't, I want to do more. When I'm told no, my yes is 10 times stronger. So I have to recognize that too. Yeah.
Yeah, Taru, this one I'm seeing, in my when write my translation, something in me rejects it so hardly that it says don't do it. It says, just relax. Why are you doing? I'm able to hear that voice. So, like if I listen to that, I have listened to that so many times.
So how do you
But
overcome that?
but it is very difficult. I tell the mother every day, but still I will be, doing the same thing. I'll be wasting my time like anything. After, uh, I have lot of time in the afternoons. I cannot say that, I'm very busy and all, but I have lot of time. Taru, are you able to see me, my video?
Yeah, now it's there. In between, it became blank. Now I can see you. Now it's again gone.
I don't know what is happening.
Now I
Okay.
can see you. Yeah.
Okay. So it is very hard between 1:30 and 3:30. Even yesterday also, I couldn't write. If I sit with my pen, I feel like sleeping. I feel like, my head is aching. My body is, acting like one small child. So sometimes I do listen to that. Then sometimes, if I keep on listening, then when will I finish writing? It will
Yeah.
take all of, this year. It has taken half of last year, and
Yeah.
and I will tell myself, no, 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 we have to finish, we have to finish. But still, this is happening every day.
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't know. Even our maid was asking yesterday, Amma, you're not writing nowadays.
Mhm.
So it is very difficult to overcome
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like
And
one
yet,
small,
when you are able to see, more and more that it's a collective thing, that everyone goes through it, right? So, say if an
Hmm.
Albert Einstein is saying that success is 99% hard work and 1% luck. So, this is the part of hard work, right? That we don't want to work. We all
Hmm.
want to rest because there's something in me which pulls me towards non-action, right? Jarta,
Yeah.
rest. We all, especially in the morning when we have to wake up, that's something
Yeah, this
we
happens.
always
Yeah.
confront. Yeah.
5 o'clock, if you put the alarm, not I will get up at 5.
Yeah.
I'll postpone snooze 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, like that. I'll get up at 5:15 at least.
Mm,
So
yeah.
it is there. Maybe for everyone,
Yeah.
this is a problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm able to see very clearly. And otherwise, my body will, somewhere it will start aching. My
Mm,
neck was aching yesterday. My shoulder was aching yesterday. I couldn't. I know it was acting so nicely that, see, you have pain. You have pain in the palms. How will you hold the pen?
mm,
All that, inner dialogue was going on. No, no, let take rest for some more time. That some
mm,
more time is, never ending.
mm,
Unless you get something very important, no, you have to go.
uh,
The body is, resisting.
yeah. So see here, so if you were to actually truly believe that
Mm.
mother has personally told you that, Charu, just do this for me. Do you think that if she would have personally told you these things, you would have been able to transcend faster? If you have been looked into the eyes and told that just finish this in 10 days, can you do it? Right? Like suddenly the accountability increases, right? Like I don't have
Yeah.
time to listen to this. And
Yeah.
although you might not agree, but since you're doing it, it is a fact that she has personally chosen you to do this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're doing
Definitely.
it. So when we say that this is not for us, it is for the one by the one. So a lot of times one is given the energy to transcend. Like there's a small child, who throws temper tantrums.
Yeah.
So once, twice, thrice, you might pay heed, and then you realize that that's his habit. That every time this happens, he does. Like every time I tell my child, I'm talking about myself, that it's time for fruit. I know for 10 minutes he'll be like, "Oh my God, no, no, no! I want cookie, I want chips, I want this, I want milk, I don't want fruit." And in 10 minutes time, he'll be holding a banana and eating it. But he needs to show that, why are you doing this to me for the first 10 minutes? So then you don't listen. Like earlier, I used to react, no, 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 fruit is good for you, da, 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 da. And now it's like nothing. Okay, once he's done, he'll take it and he'll eat it. So similarly, this thing starts developing for our resistances.
Yeah, at least from today I will see.
Yeah.
As you rightly said, if mother tells me, actually this is the mother's work, but
Yeah.
maybe that one more push is needed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you can believe this to be true in your heart, which it is, that she is telling you that do this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after, all that taking rest and, postponing, if I go and see the mother, I'll feel guilty.
Yeah.
Mother, I have not done,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
not right. But
Yeah.
I'm doing. That's
Yeah.
what.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So if you want, we can take a last one or we can end here. You can decide.
Yeah, we can take.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll read Bataru.
You don't have to ask, you always ask. You just start.
Okay. Okay. Yoga has always its difficulties, whatever yoga it be. Moreover, it acts in a different way on different seekers. Some have to overcome the difficulties of their nature first before they get any experiences to speak of. Others get a splendid beginning and all the difficulties afterwards. Others go on for a long time, having alternate risings to the top of the wave and then a descent into the gulfs, and so on, till the difficulty is worked out. Others have a smooth path, which does not mean that they have no difficulties. They have plenty, but they do not care a straw for them because they feel that the divine will help them to the goal, or that he is with them even when they do not feel him. Their faith makes them imperturbable.
Yeah. So,
Beautiful.
in continuation with the last passage only, right, which Aurobindo here is again saying that yoga has always its difficulties. Again, the stress on that exactly the same, stress was last time in the last passage. Always, whatever yoga it be. So, yoga kind of signifies a movement towards the higher, right? So anytime I am moving towards the higher, anytime I am leaving or trying to leave the lower, there will be difficulties, there will be movement, there will be forces, actions, reactions, which will say, don't change, don't move, don't do. So yoga has always its difficulties, whatever yoga it be. Moreover, it acts in a different way on different seekers. That's why our stories appear superficially to be different, and yet on closer inspections we see they are not. So it acts in a different way on different seekers. Some have to overcome the difficulties of their nature first before they get any experiences to speak of. Others get a splendid beginning, as in they would get some great experience, but all the difficulties afterward. So for some, it's, first they get a glimpse and then they have to overcome difficulties. For others, first they have to overcome the difficulties before they start speaking of experiences, experiencing different experiences. While others go on for a long time, having alternate risings to the top of the wave, then a descent into the gulfs, and so on, till the difficulty is worked out. I think this is where most of us would fall, that there are some highs and there are lows and highs and lows. Others have a smooth path, which does not mean that they have no difficulties. They have plenty, but they do not care a straw for them because they feel the divine will help them to the goal, or that he is with them even when they do not feel him. So in this case, the last one, the fourth one, their faith makes them imperturbable. Perturbable. So in some difficulties, first they have to overcome the difficulties of their nature, and then they get experiences. In others, they get beautiful experiences, then difficulties. In the third kind, according to Sri Aurobindo, there's highs and lows, ups and downs. And while the last category, he is saying that their path appears to be smooth, and their path is smooth, and it appears they have no difficulties, which is not true. They have plenty, but they do not care a straw for them. Like, it's not that they care less, they don't even care a straw for them, because they feel that the divine will help them to the goal, or that he is with them even when they do not feel him. Their faith makes them imperturbable. Yeah. Imperturbable. I don't know why I'm not pronouncing it right. Yeah. So this is it. Any reflections from your end on this? You're on mute.
Yeah. So in this four types, I'm just thinking, where am I?
I think everywhere, right?
Yeah, first
Mm.
few,
Mm.
second experience few, and third is more
Yeah, third
rising.
I would say is more for overall. Yeah.
Yeah, we feel, sometimes we are doing good, sometimes we are not at all doing anything. So,
Mm.
but the last one is really beautiful. You know, everything is beautiful, but the last one, if we
Yeah.
have that attitude, definitely it will
Mm.
help. So beautiful. I think Mother and Sri Aurobindo has not left anything. No, they have just taught us everything, but only we are not able to follow.
Yeah.
So many
I think
things.
each master and mystic in their way, has tried to show
Mm.
everything. It's just my incapacity to see. And
Yeah.
of course, because we resonate and we are in love with Mother and Shri, even though we have to feel that way.
Yeah,
And it's
that
good
is
that
true.
we feel that way. Yeah. Okay, so I think we'll end here. And next
Yeah.
time we'll start with this passage. There is always something.
Yeah. So, Taru, after the recording stops, I want to tell you something. So,
Okay. So first, let's just end the session by thanking Grace, thanking the Divine for the mind who wants to listen to this, for the heart which is open for this, for a will who wants to become this, for an aspiration, no matter how small or big. It's wanting the highest, it's wanting the movement towards the divine. So being utterly grateful for this blessing and aspiring for more faith, more grace, more suppleness and receptivity, always forward, as Mata says, always forward. Thank you.